Okay, this is Mrs. Black again, and we're going to be testing now for anions, negative anions. So we'll begin with the chloride ion in potassium chloride, KCl. So we'll first start with 3 milliliters of this. So there we have our 3 milliliters of our chloride ion. And to test for this, we add a few drops of nitric acid. So nitric acid is the HNO3. So a few drops. You want to make sure that it gets down to the bottom and it's not getting stuck on the side of your test tube. And then it says to add about 1 milliliter of silver nitrate. So that's one of these. Whoa, and there we have it. There is a beautiful white precipitate. Okay, solution number 2, we have a carbonate. In fact, this is potassium carbonate. And so we put about 3 milliliters in here. There we go. And to that, we are adding hydrochloric acid, HCl, about 1 molar. We're adding 3 milliliters, so relatively equal amounts. So here we have 1. Oh, there you go. Did you see it fizz? Let's see if I can get it closer up for the second one. All those fizzy bubbles of carbon dioxide coming out of this carbonate. This is essentially an acid-base reaction. There we go. Producing carbon dioxide as the carbonate is reacting with the acid in hydrochloric acid. Okay, our next anion is sulfate, and here we have potassium sulfate. So we'll begin by putting about 3 milliliters into our test tube. And to this solution now, we go ahead and add a few drops of nitric acid, the HNO3. Okay, so I've added a few drops there. And now we take barium nitrate, and we add about 1 milliliter. And we have another beautiful white precipitate. So you've got to be really careful here. The difference between chloride and sulfate, they're both producing white precipitates. And finally, in our last test here, we have our nitrate with potassium nitrate, and we begin by putting about 3 milliliters into our test tube. And for this one, we're heating it over a flame. But before we do that, we have to go ahead and add the other things. So we add about 3 milliliters of our sodium hydroxide, but in this case it's the 1 molar. So you want to add about 1, 2, 3. And then to this we also add a small piece of aluminum foil. Make sure it gets down in there. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this in the test tube rack while I light There we go. We have a lit flame, and I'll get my red litmus paper all ready. So here, watching this reaction I'm going to go ahead and hold over my red litmus paper. Remember, red litmus paper turns blue in the presence of a base, and in this case, it should be the gas ammonia that is produced. Oh, starting to bubble, I see gas coming, and I'm going to remove it from the heat. Remove it from the heat before it boils over, and look, go ahead and turn off this heat. We have a very distinct blue color. Let me hold it in the gas some more. Whoa, very blue. Okay, so as this continues going, you can remove it from the heat, and still as your solution is fizzing away because of the reaction, you're getting very blue litmus paper from that ammonia that's being produced. And those are tests for anions.